Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, France's President Emmanuel Macron was slapped by his first lady wife, Bridget, but no domestic abusement outrage. The hypocrisy, since if this was vice versa, it would have been outrage beyond. And it's also show the embarrassment that a French president, a man president, was slapped by his wife. Yes, yes. The embarrassment of this. See, there is all types of hypocritic things in this type of in this scenario. Macron is around about 47 years old. She's around about 72 years old. But at the same time, if that was vice versa, and it was a woman president who was 47 years old, and the man who would be the first man part of with her, and he was, let me break this, if it was vice versa, and the woman was a French president, and she was 47 years old, and her first husband was 72 years old. Oh my goodness, now they'd be like, oh my goodness, you are using her, right? See how that little disgusting game goes. But that's a whole different topic in itself. I don't want to get into all that. So the thing about it is, in this situation, the violence by his wife, Bridget, and slapping the French president, Emmanuel Macron, in front of cameras as this airplane door was opening up, was embarrassing. And feminists loved it. Yes. And so the question also would be, before I go ahead and show this video, because it's one of the videos I'm going to show you where it was almost like they were trying to make funny of this. And it was like, what's funny about domestic abusement? It's not funny when you hear these little stories about, oh my goodness, men beating down women, beating down wives, beating down girlfriends. We must protect women, right? Domestic abusement organization, domestic abusement laws and policies left and right, even though it's been found out 1,000 times, and apparently not shown enough, that women are just as abusive, and other instances even more abusive than what they try to portray males as. But at the same time, that is kept quiet. So let's go ahead and share my screen and play this particular video here on this. Make sure you see that. All right, let's play that. All right.
It's the shove being seen around the world. French President Emmanuel Macron whacked in the face by his wife. The plane door opens during a state visit to Vietnam, and you see Brigitte Macron's red sleeve come into frame. Her hands Vietnam, and you see Brigitte Macron's red sleeve come in. Opens during a state visit to Vietnam, and you see Brigitte Macron's red sleeve come into. The plane door opens during a state visit to Vietnam, and you see Brigitte Macron's red sleeve come into frame. Her hands forcefully smushing his face.
if that would have been a man who did that, my goodness. Let alone think about if it was a woman president and her husband pushed her in the face like that. There would have been global outrage of women must be protected. We got to do more to protect women. Even the woman president, she is in fear of her life by her husband who is violent. Oh, but in this situation, well, he should have protected himself, right? Well, I guess. You see the hypocrisy, and feminists love it.
He seems stunned, then awkwardly waves when he realizes cameras are rolling. Moments later, he deplanes, followed by the First Lady of France. You see him position his arm so she can grab on to go down the stairs. But she ignores the gesture and takes the handrail. Typically, you see them holding hands when they're deplaning, which added to the speculation that the cameras captured a heated argument. At first, Macron's office claimed the video was an AI-generated fake.
Wow. So AI has something to do with that, right? These people, they do anything to lie. Anything.
First, Macron's office claimed the video was an AI-generated fake. Then Macron admitted the moment was real.
Now, if that would have been vice versa again, and say she was getting off the plane, Bridget was getting off the plane, and he's the president, and or she's by the door, and he slaps her in the face, pushes her in the face. Oh my goodness. You see how this goes. The hypocrisy is extremely real. And then somebody says, oh my goodness, that was possibly AI. Oh my goodness, the people who said that, they'd have been fired. They wouldn't play that. But when it's vice versa and a man is getting abused, oh my goodness, it's a French president. A French president gets abused by his wife violently. That is violence. Well, AI may have some do. Well, it may be AI. Maybe about AI done.
Squabbling and rather joking with my and we are squabbling and rather joking with my wife.
But they shouldn't say that it wasn't real, number one, or that it was just a joke. That is not a joke you do.
Push their relationship back into the spotlight. She's 72, he's 47.
I was going to go into that, but that's a different topic. Look at that. She is a grandmother age bracket in this situation. 72. He's 47, so she's looking at him like he's really a schoolboy. Again, I don't want to go into that topic because that's a whole different topic in itself. When they met, when he was about 15 years old, or 16 years old, and she was a grown-ass woman at 39 years old, and she was married. And she was supposed to be a teacher. I don't want to go on all that. But the point is, look at the hypocrisy of this. But if a man is 70-something years old and he's with a 40-something year old or 30 or 20, they're still grown. Oh my goodness, that's creepy. Again, you see the hypocrisy. So she probably looks at him. For most people will say she probably looks, the ones who know, she probably looks at him as that 15-year-old boy back in high school when she was about 39 years old. And again, is this a cruel joke that was put upon him? Or does it show he has a major confidence problem? Take your pick.
That's a 24-year age gap between them. They met when she was his 39-year-old teacher, and he was her 15-year-old drama student.
You see that? Look at that face. Hold on, look at that. Looks like she's a grandma. Look at that face. Ugh. And look at him. Oh my goodness. She looks at him by the aura-ness. by her actions, as if he's that 15-year-old boy in high school and she was teaching and she's never outgrown that thought pattern of him. Do you see how this looks right here? Wow. But again, if that was vice versa, the man would be called he'd be called all kind of names, right? To the situation. You're just using her. She's not her right mind, right? See how the games go.
Drama student.
If the roles were reversed and you saw a man come for a woman's face like that, I would be at the front of the line picketing, saying this is inappropriate.
Wrong. That's just mouthing. See, the question should be, I wouldn't even argue 0.0% of no feminist, nonsensical babbliness, because you ask the question, hey, all these shows that they have done and Harvard's numbers of that could have been construed as missagery type topics toward males and babbliness and stuff like that. Because could you imagine if you had a Venus show and it was just basically males doing this primarily? They'd be like, dang, do y'all not have anything else better to do? Right? But feminists and westernized thought pattern, it's like, well, you can't tell a woman what to do, but they can try to tell a man what to do and what they should think. You see how that goes, right? And it's proverbially allowed by numbers of males. This is why numbers of proverbial males within the U.S., quite a many of males in the U.S. are not respected overall in relationships. They just tolerate a lot of abuse, emotional, physically, mentally, financially, politically, socially, right? And most males just tolerate it, right? So the thing about it is, this is just sorry. This is just sad. Oh, I was about to say, so you heard what she said. Oh my goodness. Well, if it was vice versa too, that's just mouthing off. Because then the question would be, what kind of conversation have you been having before this situation happened? Have you been out there forefront talking about domestic abusement that men experience? Huh? This stuff is easily seen through by people who know the game.
Macron and his wife are frequent visitors to the White House. He and President Trump have a history of tug-of-war handshakes, but never a shove in the face.
Shove
in the face. A shove in the face. But never a shove in the
The embarrassment of this. Say Spock. What do you think about that when you sit there and see stuff like that, Dr. Spock? Uh-oh. Hold on for a second. I don't think. Oh, hold on. Give me a second. No, sorry. Hold on for a second. That didn't go through. So I guess old Spock didn't like that. But let me go back here. Hold on. Give me a second. Let's go back and see. For some reason, that didn't go through the image. But no problem. Let's go see what. Let's go back. And give me 1 second. Show you what old Spock was like. Hey, come on, Spock. What's going on? Show me, Dr. Spock. What do you think about that? How does that look? Oh, hold on for it. Give me a second. Give me one moment. Is the one that this little silliness thing don't not want to act correctly. Give me 1 second. Where you at, Spock? Give me one moment here. Show me, Spock. Show me, Spock. How do you think about this situation? Yes. What's that, Spock? What do you think about that? Right? How does this sound on that situation? Yes. Right? The embarrassment of this, right? Now, let me sit there and show you this other particular video before I finish off the show, in which they thought that they came across as if this some kind of funniness, and it's not funniness whatsoever. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. One moment here. Okay. Give me one moment here. Let me sit there and show. Let me get that back here. Give me 1 second. Let me get that out the way. Let me share my screen on this. That's not it. Give me a second here. Why is that not showing? Give me 1 moment. Let me try this one last time. Okay, now understanding why this other thing is not showing. Give me a second here. One video. Give me a second here. Oh, yeah, here it is. It is right there. Yeah, here it is. It was that. Give me 1 moment here. Let me share this video here. All right, here we go. And let me rewind this. Okay, make sure you can see that part. And open up a little bit. All right.
Peter Ducey here, outside the White House. President Trump is just about to fly away to a rally in Pennsylvania. And, you know, sometimes when something interesting happens with a world leader, the only person that you can ask who has insight is another world leader. And that's what I just did.
There was a video on board a plane that showed the First Lady of France slapping her husband, Emmanuel Macron. Do you have any world leader to world leader marital advice?
Make sure the door remains closed.
You're laughing.
Is the bite of the week.
What are you doing?
She's out of prison, man.
There was a video on board a plane that showed the First Lady of France slapping her husband, Emmanuel Macron. Do you have any world leader to world leader marital advice?
Make sure the door remains closed.
You hear that? Now, I don't know what was that other. I don't know what that. Hold on, give me a second. I don't know what that. I don't know if you heard the other part. It was like some little background, some other situation popped in there for a second. But you heard the laughing about that. What was laughable about that? If that would have been a reporter, whoever it is, and that would have been a man reporter, and he was talking to a woman president, right? And he was saying the same thing. Hey, well, you know, do you have any advice for numbers of women president or women prime ministers or women in high positions who got slapped by their husbands? Right? He'd been fired. See, this is the warpness that this is why there are numbers of males that are handpicked. This is why numbers of feminists laugh about numbers of males like that one here you saw a little bit earlier. That was think this is but funniness. All the people who would laugh in the background, right? If they're married or in a girlfriend, you know who controls who? Because that ain't funny. That's domestic abuseness. But a woman, let alone a first lady of a French president, he gets slapped. And they think this is funny. And this is why, unfortunately, before I'm going to show this last video on this, is that the way things are looking for maleness, and it's becoming more emasculating daily. More males and more males are becoming more handpicked. More males and more males are becoming less masculine. More males are sitting there allowing these feminist games to be played upon millions and millions and millions and millions more men. More males are allowing abuseness by numbers of their wives and girlfriends, and most males are just tolerating this and thinking this is funny. You got still more males are becoming more white saviors when they hear something about a woman saying, help me, help me, help me, without knowing what's going on. How many males who have been juked to death, been boom, 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 boom to death, right? Or put in prison left and right, and for trying to be super savior to some woman they have no idea about, right? Now there are some exceptions, but we're talking about overall. And then those women, most of those women, they go about their own business. They go sit there and have sex with whatever other males or women, depending who you talk, depending on however it is. But their life continues while that male is either locked up or that male's life has been snuffed out by someone else that they try to jump in and try to be super savior and didn't know the situation, didn't know if that woman was abusive toward him, physical abusing toward him. He has no clue. How many males are in graveyards right now who have again been juked to death, been boom, boom, boom to death behind trying to be super savior? And again, those women or women go about their own business. Last video, give me a second. I have to kind of do this again because it's not showing up the way I want, but not a problem. At the same time, it shows a very poignant point about the give me a second here. Oh, that's not it. Oh, give me one moment. There we go. The poignant statement is also in finishing it up. Look at the bumbling looking male. Look at the woman, right? He looks at her and says, oh, she's a fine one. He got him a fine one, right? Or whatever. Because she could have been older. And he just, had lack of self-confidence, or it was set up that direction that he must get in a relationship with that person, however it go, because it happens on that, or whatever, how a situation happens. Let's go ahead and play this video.
I bought you a little present.
You did? Well, where is it, honey?
Here, dear.
What the?
Well, where is it, honey?
Here, dear.
What in the bumblingness of Donkey Kong's tail is this? It's domestic abusement. And these are in cartoons like this. Yes. And movies and sitcoms and videos. Every day, somewhere, some video, some movie, some sitcom, etc. shows women abusing men daily. I've seen this countless times. And they know males ain't gonna do collectively nothing to stop this non-ha-ha funniness in these movies, in these videos, in these sitcoms. They're sitting there abusing males, be it physically, financially, mentally, right? What is it? Physical abuseness, financial abuse, mental and emotional abuse, right? Happens every day toward males, but it's minimized. And it's almost like you got a lot of helpless by the millions of males, with few exceptions. It's like that's sitting there say, no, they're not going to tolerate this abusement by numbers of women. And they're going to demand political people sit there and say, this is bull crap. Violence, domestic violence is not just some numbers of women getting abusements by small numbers of males. It's not. There are abusement, violent ass women left and right that abuse males in relationships. As wives, as girlfriends, abuse men every damn day. So this is not funny at all.
I bought you a little present.
You did? Well, where is it, honey?
Here, dear. Little man, I've had a busy day.
This is why I say that, unfortunately, that men, the way things are happening toward men, manness is disappearing more and more. If nothing changes within probably a generation, then there is not going to be any stopping or reducing down the way feminists is doing toward numbers of emasculating maleness in politicalness, financial places, businesses, etc. it's going to be allowed even more. And who pays the price even more? The youth males that are growing up now. They're going to pay the prices for numbers of males right now this applies to. If it does not change within about a generation, then there is no overall help for the numbers of males that are growing up. This is why I say on this situation, if nothing overall changes and not enough, and more males do not stand up and say enough of this one-sided blasting by purpose, right? It's done by feminists and other entities that it's a gold mine, and sitting there blaming males about domestic abusement. It's a gold mine on that situation, right? There's a lot of resources to that, but at the same time, when resources for barely no resource at all for males who get abused by wives and girlfriends and etc. You see how that goes, right? And if this doesn't change, well, then I would probably say a half a generation. Then overall, is collectively, there is no saving. Collectively, strong maleness. Collectively. So again, if this does not change, the mentality of by more males to demand. I'm not saying being quiet. No. Just being more males being quietness to stuff happen. No. That don't succeed. Right? Women demand things left and right significantly. The one who supplies to, right? We demand protection of women, Violence Against Women Act, right? Even though again, women abuse males just as much, half of they abuse males just as much. In other instances, just more abusement toward males by numbers of women, right? So if more males collectively, especially within America, do not sit there and stand up collectively, right? A lot more than about half a generation is remaining before the overall amount of the complete destruction of overallness of strong maleness, about half a generation, if it does not stop. I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP show.
I bought you a little present.
You did? Well, where is it, honey?